In this video, we'll be looking at how to set up your letterhead in the system so your outgoing documents will be customized to your business. You can find your letterhead under Settings, Business Profile, then click the Letterhead tab. Setting up your letterhead is essentially done in 3 steps. First, you upload the logo, then decide how many sections you'd like on your letterhead, and then define how those sections should look. So first, let's upload your logo. Whether you are uploading for the first time or, like in this example, changing an existing logo, you start here by clicking Upload Logo. Take note of the file type and size restrictions that are listed here. Then click on Choose File. From here you can navigate to the folder on your computer where you keep your logo file and select it. The system will then upload your file and give you a preview in the little preview pane. Next, we need to decide if we would like 1, 2, or 3 sections on our letterhead. I have an example here that may help demonstrate what that means. One column will suit if you have one long, thin image that you'd like to have on the entire top of the page. 2 columns will work well if you have a rectangular shaped logo. The first column will take up the left-hand 2/3 of the page, and the last column will take up a small square area on the right. 3 columns divides the page into 3 roughly equal boxes. My logo is more or less square, plus I'd like a place for my catchy company slogan and my address, so I'm going to select 3 columns for my letterhead. As you can see, the system has now populated this little table with my 3 columns, plus a footer. I click on Edit to define what each of these columns will look like. Column 1 is on the left-hand side of the page, and this is where I'd like my logo to be placed, so I've selected my column content to be Logo. You can play around with the vertical and horizontal alignment as needed depending on your logo and the look you want. I'm going to start off by placing it at the top left of the page and we'll see how it looks. Column 2 is at the center of the page, and this is where I want my company's slogan, so I've made this column content to text. And here is where I will put the text for my well thought out company slogan. I'm going to make it run over 2 lines to help center it on the page. I'm also going to have a play around with the look of the text a little to make it fit our company stationery. I'm going to change the size and color of the font, and I'm also going to center it in the column. The third column is on the far right of the page, and you can see here that the system has picked up my address automatically. If I go in again, I can change the color of the font, and this time I'm going to right justify the text. Our last area is for the footer, and this is set to appear in the bottom center of the page. I'm happy with this, so I can save and exit. Now I think I'll change the color of the fill used in the section headers for the report. I'm going to make them light blue. Okay, let's take a look at our new letterhead. I click on Preview Layout, and the system will now generate and download a PDF file for me to view. I can click on this file and take a look to make sure everything looks fine, and it looks okay to me. But the last thing I should do is check that the spacing between my letterhead and the page content looks okay. To do this, I'll need to go back into the system and regenerate a report so I can take a look at it. So I'll choose an animal, then I'll find a session and go back into that. I can then click on Create Report. The system will recreate this report on my new letterhead so I can take a look at it. Okay, so if I take a look here, you can see I need a little more space between my logo and the page content. To make that space, I can simply go into my address column here and add a couple of carriage returns. Now I'll save my changes and then do another quick check to make sure I got it right. So again, I'll go back into a session and create the report. Okay, we see I have a little more space here now. Alright, I'm happy with that. I think my letterhead is made. That's it for the letterhead video. If you have any questions, you can email us or click on the feedback tab in the web app.